In this video, we are exploring Zhuhai, a rapidly developing megacity that is located only an hour outside of Hong Kong. We'll try some incredible local specialties like this unique Congee Hotpot, as well as an assortment of seafood at a local night market. Zhuhai is also said to be China's happiest city. At first glance, I would have agreed. However, as our trip went on, my perception of Zhuhai took an awkward turn.
Alright, hey everyone, today we are in Zhuhai, China's garden city. This is supposedly the happiest city in China. I'm back with my friend that I visited when I went to Huiping last week. Right now, we're just going to spend a quick afternoon and check out the city, see if it's really as happy as they say it is.
If you are visiting Hong Kong, Zhuhai is easily reachable via the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge. The bus ride across the bridge takes only about 30 minutes and costs 65 Hong Kong dollars for a one-way trip. As you drive across the bridge, you'll be met with sweeping sea views and the skylines of both Macau and Zhuhai.
So starting off, we're about to eat this 顺德竹笋粥火锅. So it's basically a rice porridge hot pot. Supposedly with this rice porridge hot pot, you can order whatever type of meat you want and then you cook it in the hot pot. And then at the end, you can drink the rice porridge.
This 顺德 Congee Hotpot is quite a unique take on this very classic style of Chinese cooking. Unlike traditional hot pot, where you cook your own meat and vegetables inside a pot of boiling soup broth, with 顺德 Congee Hotpot, you cook your items in a pot of boiling rice. We ordered a variety of meats, from pork meatballs to chicken wing tips and feet, as well as pork cheeks and intestine.
It looks like the meat is just about cooked. This is a pork meatball. And we've got some of the intestine, a little piece of chicken wing in there. I'm typically not a big fan of intestine, so we'll see how this goes. Wow, that took a really long time to chew. I've had some really stinky intestine before, so this one is a little bit better. I do want to try the pork meatball though. Pork meatball is really nice.
What makes this dish so special is what happens at the very end. While you start with a plain white pot of congee, by the very end, your congee will have absorbed all the juices and flavors from all of the meats you've cooked, giving it this darker brown color and incredibly rich flavor.
So the zhou has absorbed a lot of the meat flavor now, so it's actually really good, really flavorful. Typically when you get zhou, it tends to be more plain, but this one definitely has a lot of flavor to it and it's really nice. Oh, it's so good.
This meal was exactly what we needed to give us the energy to go out and explore the city. For our first stop, we are heading over to the Zhuhai Opera House. With its iconic shell-like design, the Zhuhai Opera House is more than just a stunning architectural landmark. It's a symbol of Zhuhai's transformation from a quiet coastal city into a modern, thriving hub. Over the past few decades, Zhuhai has evolved, balancing its reputation for natural beauty and quality of life with ambitious urban development.
They say Zhuhai is one of the quickest developing cities in China currently, and so very rapidly you're getting a lot of new apartment buildings, new amenities around the area that are really impressive, really modern and just nice to explore, I guess. So this mall, for example, is also one of them, built in probably only the last few years. And then out there in the distance, you've got so many new modern apartment buildings that look amazing. The skyline almost looks like Vancouver to me. There's also a whole variety of activities and outdoor things that you can do. So for example, right now we just rented these bikes. And what was this island called again? Li Dao. What we're gonna do is kind of tour around the island. We got this bike here and then we'll ride around this bike path and then hopefully circle around here within 1 hour's time.
Okay.
All right.
I'm too short for this. My legs. Yeah, mine doesn't do anything.
All right, we got a break because there are people. I wish we could speed this up a little bit. It's a little bit slow, and I think this is a kind of a big island. Don't know how well you can see it out in the distance, but you've got the Zhuhai Macau Bridge that goes all the way across the sea here, all the way to Hong Kong.
After a quick cycling trip around the island and taking in all the incredible scenery, we began aimlessly wandering around the city just to see what we would find. Hidden in a random neighborhood, we came across this handmade and bookstore.
欢迎欢迎，热烈欢迎。Sheep, lion, chestnut. So it looks like up here they have a shop. It's got all these handmade crafts and things. Pretty cool.
This shop had tons of handmade items from local artists. While there are many things I could have purchased, I ended up leaving with a poetry book that was written by a local author and artist. The same author apparently has his own gallery, which was located about 600 meters away from the handmade store we were in. Zhuhai is full of small but growing creative hubs. These communities foster innovation and local artistry. This art gallery was undergoing a transition between its previous and current setup, so some of the displays were incomplete, but it was still quite unique to see.
This is kind of interesting in this place. Like, it seems like some of the art is a little bit modern. I don't really get it. Sometimes with art, though, it doesn't really have to make sense, I feel like, and it's kind of open to your own interpretation.
The next part of our journey takes us on a sightseeing walk along the coast. As the sun sets and the temperature drops, the city starts to come alive. During Blue Hour, you can get some incredible views of the Zhuhai Opera House and surrounding areas.
See, it was so hot earlier, but now that it's cooled down, I realize everybody is out here. Probably all of Zhuhai is at the beach right now. There's like thousands of people. This is crazy. And then it's very lively. You've got a lot of people selling coconuts, sausages, random toys, sugarcane juice, everything. So on the left side, you've got the beach. And on the right side, you have one of the most beautiful outdoor malls I've ever seen. Indoor and outdoor, it looks like. So we just stopped in here to get a quick cool down, try some quick dessert or whatever they have in here. Wow, look at this potat. Look how many layers are in the crust. Wow, that's so eggy. It's actually like not as sweet as they usually are. It's more eggy than like what I'm used to, but it's pretty good. How's that egg tart?
Really flaky. This Portuguese egg tart seems to be more like eggier, has more structure to it, but I feel like Portuguese egg tart should be more custardy.
We're trying to make our way over to a night market. This isn't the night market we were going to. I think the one that we want to go to is, well, actually this one's still very food related, like all the stalls here, all selling like food and jewelry. This is pretty cool, and it's just beside that mall that's right across from the beach. Okay, this is something that you will not see in America. This is a pizza vending machine. So you click here, you can pick the pizza, choose what you want. Unfortunately, I don't want to eat this. I'm saving my stomach for other food. But you order the pizza here. It looks like it starts to bake in here, and then it comes out right here. And it takes place in around 3 minutes. Well, I was about ready to give up on the night market because there were so many cars.
So from this point forward is where things started to go wrong. First, because of the heavy traffic, it took nearly 30 minutes for Didi, or China's version of Uber, to get to us. After pickup, it took another 30 minutes to go only a couple of kilometers to the night market. Second, for some reason the spare batteries which I had charged the night prior were now all dead, so I ended up recording the rest of this on my phone. So one thing that Zhuhai is really famous for is its seafood. Compared to Hong Kong, you can order seafood on a budget here. At this night market, I honestly had so many incredible seafood dishes. They all had incredible flavor, and one dish that I especially enjoyed were these Taiwan fried oyster eggs. However, I'd come to really regret eating these later.
I love the texture of tofu. I always order tofu. It's got a lot of spice on it though. It is really spicy. I want to try one of these oysters. Look at that on top. Got an oyster.
The third reason is when my opinion of Zhuhai being a happy city really started to take a turn. All of a sudden we heard shouting in the distance and we saw that a fight had broken out. No idea what happened, but this guy clearly had some built-up anger and something had set him over the edge.
Well, it's been several months since I took that first visit to Zhuhai, but I never really got the chance until now to kind of recap on how I feel about that experience. I really wanted to like Zhuhai, but remember how I said I really liked eating those Taiwan oyster eggs? Well, the next day I got really sick. I think those oysters may have given me Vibrio or something like that, because I was sick for 3 weeks after that. I did not leave the house because I had really bad intestinal inflammation, and I was really sick. I had a fever for a really long time. So that, along with that fight that broke out, it did not give me a good impression of Zhuhai, unfortunately. And then I made an attempt to go to the Zhuhai air show, which happened a little bit ago. But that day there was a typhoon. Basically, by the time I got to the air show field, it had already ended. And then actually, now that I think about it, the night before I was supposed to go to that, there was a big incident where some guy had driven his car into a huge crowd of people, which is really unfortunate. So I think it just highlights the fact that China while I really enjoy traveling around China, you still always have to be kind of mindful of your surroundings. While I still feel like the chances of something dangerous or something bad happening to you in China is a lot lower than it would be in the US, it doesn't mean that you can let your guard down. I did experience actually a similar incident when I was in New York City a long time ago. I think it was back in 2018 or something. I think this incident happened in Times Square. I was in Times Square when this driver decided to drive his car through a crowd of people. So wherever you go, I feel like, you just have to be careful, be mindful, because there's always crazy people everywhere. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please help me out, click the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.